Hello and welcome to another fun-filled knife adventure. Hooray! So today we're going to be taking a look at the Tenable Knives Gideon. So as you can see, I've got the box here. Let's get into it. See what we got here. Well, of course, I'm going to have an issue. All right. We've got a cloth, the knife, a nice little booklet from them, full color little fold out showing their manufacturing techniques, some QR codes if y'all would like to check those out. There they are. Warranty information, what is covered, warranty exclusions, what Tenable will do, knife use and care, and a release agreement. We've got the desiccant and a little branded moist towelette. We will put that back in the box along with get the knife out, put all this back in the box, set the box to the side here, and let's take a look at the knife. Very nice looking micarta. Very nice curves on the knife. That's some very aggressive jimping on the back of it. Full length backspacer. You won't get dirt inside your knife. Nice oversized deep carry clip. So we'll check that out here momentarily. Nice stone washed black blade. Blackened blade. Same with the backspacer. Hardware is black. Looks like they used T8 everywhere. So that's always nice to see. I like seeing that on my knives. Even the two clip screws look like they're T8, but we will check those momentarily. So let's open this thing up and see what the blade looks like. All right, there we go. It's got a little bit of a recurve there. Very swooshy blade, if that is a word. Some oil on it. Never hurts to see oil on a knife. It means they're protecting it. Yeah, very slicey looking blade. It does feel like a flat grind. We will see if that's the case. But overall, very clean lines on it. Not straight lines, but clean lines. Very nice looking knife. Very comfortable in the hand. I have larger hands and I can get all 4 fingers on it very easily. No real hot spots. Jimping feels good back here on the back of the back spacer. Lockup looks decent. This is a nested liner lock, so it would be good for you lefties or you righties like me. Access to the lock bar is great. Action superb, actually. Yeah, you can really get easily to the liner, no problem there. Close is very simple. Very good action. Reverse flick, regular flick. I'm so used to reverse flicking that the regular flick to me seems more difficult at times, but yeah, you can easily get in there and get to that blade window or blade cutout. I like the shape of the blade cutout. Your finger lands in it very easily for a reverse flick. Really like the material they used on the micarta. It looks like nice micarta, purple. We like purple. The clip has adequate tension. It doesn't look like it's going to get hung up at all. It's got looks like it's going to go in and come out very easily. So that's good. A very comfortable knife. The sharpening choil is pretty much just that. It's not really a finger choil. It wasn't made to be, but you can get a finger in there to choke up on it. Yep, very nice. All right, let's get a few measurements on it here. Starting with the weight. Need to clean off these scales. So it is 3.43 ounces. So that is a very nice weight. Let's see, overall length. Looks like about right at 8 inches. Almost exactly. With a blade length of 3.5 inches and a cutting edge of 3.2 inches maybe. All right, let's got those measurements. Let's get the calipers here. Let's see what we got going on as far as thicknesses go. Zero this out. Back here to inches. All right, let's check out the blade width up here at the top, the widest point. It is 0.121. And then down here behind the edge, it is, it's hard to get right behind the edge on a knife, but 0.0245. Feels very very nice. Just have a nice curve up there. You could get in for a pinch cut. Let's see. Let's do a few size comparisons here. Start out with the standard comparison knives, and that would be the Spyderco Para 3. You can see it's larger than the Para 3. And it is very, very, very close to the same size as the PM2. Get this wiped off so it'll look a little better on camera. Very, very similar to a PM2 in size. As far as length, PM2 is a little thicker and taller. Let's see, what else we got here? Here's a Spyderco Smock. It is very, very similar in size, overall size, to the Smock as far as top to bottom, blade size, blade height. Very close to that. Here is a Spyderco Shaman. Again, very, very similar in size. Here's one a few of you have. This is a Walmart Bug Out clone, or the Wug Out. It's a little larger than that. I have done a little modifications to my Wug Out. I bead blasted the blade and dyed the handles and tried to make it look a little better. I don't like the orange and black. Let's see, here is a Devo Mash. For some of you Devo fans, you can see it is larger than the Mash. And here is a Monterey Bay Knives Sabertooth. It is a little smaller in overall length than the Sabertooth. Here is a Concept, which is their mother brand. This is the Eagle Strike. So it's a little smaller than the Eagle Strike. And here is another Concept, Tipper. It is very close to the same overall length and blade size as the Tipper. So that gives you some other knives to compare it to. Let's see. Let's do a cut test with it. Let's see if it came sharp. Yes. All the way from the very back to the very tip of the blade. Let's see. That's my fault, not the knives. Yep. Very sharp, so that's always a plus. It seems companies have been doing a great job lately of getting their knives sharp. Let's check the detent on it. Very good detent. Does not want to drop out. Very satisfying click there. I love the lines of it without the flipper tab. It cleans up the lines and makes it super sleek looking. Let's check out the pocket clip and see what that looks like in pocket. Here's pocket. Here's in pocket. Yeah, it slides in very nicely. Almost completely disappears. Just a little hint of the purple sticking out there. Let's see. Comes out very easily. Yeah, very nice. It does have enough tension to not just fall right out. You can see there. But it would be very good for blue jeans. These are a little thinner than blue jeans. Yeah, that knife would be very nice for that. Let's see. If you don't know, Tenable Knives is a sub-brand of Concept Knives. And they have a lot of nice knives. They've really been hitting the game hard coming out the gate with a bunch of releases. So let's go check out their website for the knife and see what they say about it. Looks like they do offer it in 6 different versions. This is the purple micarta, but they also offer it in a black micarta. The blade still is Nitro V. I have not mentioned that yet. They offer a brown micarta, a jade G10, a purple micarta, the Tiffany blue G10. I like that model as well. I like the way that G10 looks, the little weathered kind of look or aged look a little. Goes really good with the stonewash blade. And then they offer a green micarta. $67.89. 3.5-inch blade is what they were calling it. That's what I said. Let's see. Let me get back to the right model here. It is designed by a company called Dead Sober Design. Shout out to them. The Gideon is a formidable knife that pays tribute to his namesake, a beloved canine companion named for a mythical dragon. Okay, named after a dragon. The shape, the sweeping tail-like shape. The blade itself to make it look like the head of the dragon. Ready to strike. All right. Dead Sober Designs began designing knives as a much-needed outlet during the challenging first years of their recovery. What initially started as an artistic experiment soon blossomed into a passion for the technical side of design. Over the years, Dead Sober Designs has worked hard to develop a unique and functional design language, and they are excited to share this with others. Trailing point blade, Nitro V steel, 3.25. Yeah, they're calling it a 3.2. I said 3.2 cutting edge. It does have a 3.5-inch total length. Robust liner lock, ergonomic curved handle, functional back spacer jimping and deep carry clip. Yep, right at 8 inches overall, 3.5 inch, 0.118. Nitro V, trailing point, flat grind, black wash, purple micarta, liner lock, 3.6 ounces. I believe I got a little less than that. We will check that again. Yeah, super cool design, and a little bit of history behind the design there. They're not wrong about the ergonomic handle. It does feel really good in hand. The only thing I can feel is a little bit where this curves up. I don't think it will provide a hot spot, but that's just, that's the highest point, so that's kind of hitting. But it hits right in the middle of your hand. It's not uncomfortable at all. Jimping feels great. You could get up there, get your finger on for a pinch cut. Action is great on it. Very satisfying noise, both opening and closing. Let's make sure. I said the hardware was all T8, but let's check that just to be positive. So, start with the pivot. That is T8. Body screw, T8. Clip screw. Well, aha. So the clip screws might be a T6, which is pretty common on knives. Yes, the two clip screws are T6s, so I'm glad I checked that. I would have given you some misinformation had I not. This body screw is a T8, this one is a T8, and the other pivot is a T8. We got T8s everywhere except for the clip. It's perfectly acceptable. Yeah, very nice knife. I like a lot of the designs they're coming out with. In fact, while we're here, let's take a quick look at a few of their other designs. So, new arrivals. Looks like they have a newer fixed blade called the Par, and I really like the looks of it too. I like their color combinations. The Kratos, an Ostapel design. Nice looking knife. They do offer it. That says black and white G10. I don't believe that is. Oh yeah, I guess it is. It almost looked like shiny titanium from the looks of it. That's one of their newer knives. Got some striped versions of it. Tiny Dancer fixed blades. Looks like those are sold out. Let's see what else we got here. The Raven. Nice crossbar lock. I like the color combo with the green on green there. That looks like a nice knife. Let's see. Coming soon. Aha, so these are very new. Shop. We do have a fin rear. The Raven. The Anomaly. Let's see what else we have. The Beaver. Yeah, I like and the prices are very reasonable. The Bomber, which is one of their biggest versions. That's a Midgard's Messer design. $80 is about the highest I've seen any of their knives, from maybe around $40 to $80. So there's the Colibri. Look through a few more pages here. There's an Eagle Strike. So they offer the same version I showed you in the concept. They offer it in their budget line, the Tenables. So that's cool to see. And I believe they do that with a few different models. The Fermi. There's the Gideon. Kratos. The Cryo. So the Cryo is also a concept knife that they brought across to the Tenable line. The Lucio fixed blade. That's an interesting knife as well. So yeah, they have a lot of nice knives for you to check out. A lot of nice colorways. This Model 6 crossbar lock looks very nice. I like their color combinations. They have some in 14C 28N, some in D2, and some in Nitro V. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Tenable Knives, you should do so. They have some great budget offerings. And I appreciate you being here and checking out the video. You could be doing anything, but you chose to check me out, and that means a lot to me. If you like talking about knives, you ought to join us every morning for Blade Talk. Every morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, I go live, and me and a bunch of great guys sit around and talk about knives for a couple of hours every morning. I invite you to join us and hear about the newest releases, what's coming out, what we like, what we don't like, why we like them, why we don't like them. Thursdays, we try to deal with modding knives, like you saw where I did the bead blasting and dyeing of scales. We do anodization. We do all kinds of things. Learn how to sharpen. We all try to learn daily about knives. We just enjoy the hobby, and so we try to pass that on to each other. I learn stuff daily from all my fellow chat members, and I try to teach the little useless knowledge that I might have picked up. So yeah, join us if you're up in the mornings and like talking about knives. We'd love to see you there. And appreciate you being here again, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks.